I have a theory that will throw statistics out the window, and maybe it's not a complete theory, but and maybe I'm using stats to come to this theory. You'll have to decide for yourself. But basically, if I wanted to, let's say, affect the crypto market and Bitcoin, all I would have to do is come out with a crypto news piece that tells you what I think it's going to do, and it'll do something else, right? The only problem with that is that somebody might believe you, and they might lose money. So, you know what I'm saying? Because if the second that I look at some at an order sheet, like a order, what they call that, the screen, the buy order list. As soon as I look at it with thinking what I want to do, and start typing in a price, or you know, the whole market will just, it'll like turn over, and like not turn over upside down, but the psychology, I input my psychology into the market um before I press send, and like things will, I'll stop and I'll look and I'll think, or I'll have a thought and I'll check and I'll be like, oh, okay, now the buy orders outweigh the sell orders. But that's the algo. That's the algo bots. Um, so if you're dealing with people, that wouldn't happen. But if you're dealing with algo bots, then it's possible that you could yourself drive the market up or down the second that you move into a discomfortable area, because whenever people are saying great things about a coin and totally happy with it and everyone's excited, then the price tanks. And if everybody is dogging the coin and they're unhappy with it and they're saying stay away from it, then all that attention and all of that seed, like projects need seed money. Ideas in the minds of people, they are seeded, whether they be good or bad, because there is no good or bad, there is no right or wrong. It's just energy, and energy is positive and negative. Um, or it's proton and electron. Protons are positive, electrons negative. Um, and when so it's like all all PR is, all publicity is good publicity, right? If a coin has no news and you don't hear anything about it and nobody knows about it, stay away from it. But if everybody's talking about it, it's not whether or not it's good, it's when you buy it. Because there's some, I've had to buy crappy coins before that I don't like. Projects I don't like. I was like, oh, I gotta buy this, and then I'll have to sell it in 3 months because of reasons like airdrop, or a halving on miners, a mainnet token transfer to mainnet tokens, um, and then okay, great. So yeah, I mean that's made me have to buy some of crappy coins, and then there's good projects. You want to just, those are, you just put those aside and don't trade with them, and just try to strengthen your position, because you want to push that date out further. You know, just strengthen your position. Um, and this was gonna foray into something wild. Oh yeah, do you know that people are being stalked by a morphology that um, wants you to choose between a certain look of something, whether or not you can eat it, and it's a psilocybin connection. Wherever people go, they bring the conditions for this mushroom like that either grows in like cow patties, like cow shit, or it grows on decaying wood. Um, and the wind vectors and certain um, certain industrial or commercial plants that deal with like like fertilizers and or wood and like all this weird shit. Um, they always end up um, having these mushrooms that you can what's it called, alter your mental state. um, so like around here, there's psilocybe alinei and psilocybe cyanescens, and this is not counting the Amanita muscaria because that's a different chemical. It's muscimol that forms in your stomach after you eat the muscarina, Amanita muscarina, which is like the it goes that goes all the way back in history to like paganism and Hinduism and maybe even the Old Testament. But the psilocybin is like wherever you go, like different species that we've never known about, like baeocystin, baeocy. I don't know how to pronounce baeosynth, baeosynthis, silly liberty caps, like all that kind of shit. Like they like um lanolin. What is lanolin? The SNC Lanolin Company um is what's it called? A scandal with Justin Trudeau. Like last year, we had like this weird cultish clique in Washington D.C. that believed that they were humanoid cubensis. Like it's another mushroom thing. They of course they're idiots, but like I mean they're what the fuck, man. I'm trying to figure out. I knew what this was going into. I knew what this was about, and then I forgot. It kind of trailed off. But so I should be able to aggregate whatever reality I want with my own belief, using my own belief. But there's an obstacle in front of that, and if um, if I go ahead anyway, I'm developing a strategy, but it it's like black magic or something. It's like I don't really know what kind of forces I'm working with. I'm just throwing this out there and trying to see what happens and come back and just take a little off the top. And you never know that there might be a big, huge uh, leviathan in falls for my trap or something. You know what I'm saying? And then has some things prepared for me when I come around, and I don't even know. I'm just like thinking it's all good, And I'll tell you like, oh, Bitcoin is there's only two things that can happen to Bitcoin. Uh, it's it's gone into a pinnacle horizontal um, range, and it's going to tail downwards. Only possibility that can happen, right? It can't go on forever because it's the range is getting shorter and shorter, and the algo bots are um, fighting over a, a penny, like 5 cents a penny. So pretty soon they're gonna just flatline, and that's gonna drive. Um, that's gonna create a huge buy candle or huge sell off candle, and it can't go up. It can only go down. So then what would happen was Bitcoin would go way up, and people would lose their position. They wouldn't necessarily lose money unless they sold, but maybe they were gonna buy, and they were gonna strengthen their position at that moment, and or they sold, and then they just remember you. They just remember your face, and they say, well, this guy, he thinks that he's a like been cloned or something, or he's a drone, but he could still be found. Like you're leaving clues where he could find you. Normally, I don't even care, but now I do. Um, like I mean, like, how come people don't see me and they're like, "Oh my God, PewDiePie! Oh my God, it's PewDiePie! Oh my God, PewDiePie! Hey, PewDiePie!" And then people are like, "Oh, he's got hundreds of millions of dollars. That's PewDiePie. He'd be online on YouTube." But I mean, the reason they don't do that to me is because I'm, just on YouTube. Just you're nobody, So like, you know, they like I feel pretty secure in that. That makes me feel secure. Sorry that you had to go through wondering if I was gonna make a point by the end of the video. Um, I'll have to get into that morphology business later because that goes to the purpose of the pyramids, which is to leave a question mark in your head and filter all the emotions that goes to feed these morphology that's actually coming through space. The spores can travel through vacuum and space, and they can survive extreme temperatures, cold, heat, the vacuum, and time, like long, long, long amounts of time. It won't hurt them, the spores, and so I'm thinking that there's another planet where maybe it's a denser um, atmosphere, and so they are actually huge, huge mushrooms, right? And I got this idea from the tall white alien um, of Germany. What's his name? Uh, I forget his Rudolph of Germany, but he lives in a method acting. He's like spun spun his life around a persona, and he method acts this persona just like an alien. Like if you find an alien chair, what would it be? Because we know what we can make. We make chairs. Humans on Earth know what the fuck a chair is and can make the shit out of a chair. So if you found an alien chair, what would it be? And somebody like Rudolph, who's like method acting, got it down to like, might as well just move in, and it's a lifestyle. I mean, you can't say that like he's not an alien. You know what I mean? Because whatever you believe is truth. That's why they try to tee up stories and aggregate news and foment talking points, culminating a narrative. It's you can buy the rumor and sell the news in stock markets, and some people can sell the rumor. But I don't think that they're humanoid cubensis people, or what I mean. They just want to be. They probably just want to be hugged, and they probably and like the Marina Abramovich and everybody. She just wants to be oogled, and she wants to be the focal point. She wants you to stare directly up her cooter. She's not like a normal, typical female. I mean, you know that, right? Mind melding people and shit. Like, come on, that shit is creepy and weird.